tried one of the seven sins, girl?
No, my mama and daddy always tell me 7 sins are bad for you. I don't really like talking to strangers like you.
What is sin? People have different descriptions of sin. Let's look at them. Pride, envy, gluttony, lust, anger, greed, sloth. Let's take it one at a time. Pride. How's that a sin? Well, when a person takes too much pride in themselves and they become oblivious of anyone else's feelings, or then you got envy. Becoming envious of other people is just a terrible reaction. If you see a person next door has a brand new car, instead of being happy for that person, you become envious of them of having something nice. We see this in all populations. Usually it has something to do with monetary gain. It's not fair that I'm poor and he's rich. It's not fair that he's this way and I'm this way. Envy has destroyed many societies. Gluttony. It's not about just eating. It's about consuming more than you need. Energy. And it's not just located in people. It's everything. Our country, does it really need all this oil? Does it need all this other things? We consume more than we need in life. This has a adverse effect on us. Lust is a big one, and it's the most controversial subject there is. Many people say there's no such thing as love, and I disagree. Lust is a terrible weapon against everyone. And it's just not about physical things. It's about emotion. When you feel nothing for another person and you have absence of love, then you have lust. And people say lust exists, but not love. To those people, I say, really need to look in the mirror. Lust breeds disease, breeds sickness. It breeds a lot of behavioral problems. And someone will say, well, watching porn doesn't harm you. And I'd say, most part, okay, no. But when people watch it over and over and over and they need a new reaction to get them off, and they lust for this, and then the thought becomes action and deviancies start to happen. Anger or wrath. This is a big problem everywhere and everyone. We want to become vengeful against everything. Hatred. I see it in social justice warriors. I see it in extreme Christians. I see it in extreme feminism, extreme gay rights. I see it everywhere. And instead of coming together in love and respect of each other, we become wrathful, hatred. This just breeds more and more hatred. When one reaction happens, there's another reaction. It's a domino effect that will destroy any civilization. And forcing people to accept your views never works. It never works. It never ends good. Greed. I think everyone can agree that greed is wrong. And greed is not just about monetary gain, which is an illusion. Money and currency of all kinds is just an illusion. It doesn't really exist. The idea that you own anything, that you own your own sweat, blood, or tears, is just asinine. It's an illusion. And people will kill, murder, rob, betray, sell their bodies for it, and work themselves to death for an illusion, a lie. You never get anything. And then people who have billions of dollars, they know the secret that it's an invisible chain around their slaves' necks. And that's all you are, is a slave, because you rent everything from a private bank. You don't own anything. You rent it from a private bank. Your life has no meaning because somebody who's greedy knows how to control and manipulate their slaves. So the more you want, the more you become a slave. Sloth. Sloth is about physical and mental and spiritual. Sloth, everyone knows that being overweight and unhealthy is wrong. I mean, just because you're fat doesn't mean you're unhealthy. It just means you have a perception of not being healthy. But then again, a person who's skinny is just as unhealthy too. I've seen, there's not just mentally, but spiritually. People who doesn't practice what they preach has a problem. I see it in religion. I see it in atheism. I see it every corner of society. And when you when you don't exercise your mind, it becomes, how can I say this? You become stupid. You got to exercise your mind as much as your body, because your body is the temple of God. And sloth is the worst sin, I think, that there is, because it allows the breeding of the other sins to come in when you don't practice what you preach. If you don't exercise your mind and your mind, body, and soul, then you have a tendency to become open to other sins. What's called the gateway drug of sin, because that's all sin is. Sin is and always will be a drug. I mean, people use it. Everyone uses some kind of sin in life, but if you're aware of what your sin is and aware of the drug, then you can combat the addiction. But I see very little billionaires and millionaires that don't have one of these greater sins, and sloth is one of them. If you look at the billionaires, many of them lack any real sense of love for their humanity. They will be the conscience of the world to say their will is how you should live. And I didn't give them permission to control my life. I don't give anyone permission to control me. That's human. That's how I see it.